Alright guys, it is the end of another very busy week here on the bench, and we are going to go over kind of what's coming in and what's coming out. It's going to be another weekly recap, as well as we're going to lead into a new video we're going to be doing about an Omega, which we're going to talk about. Some of you may have seen it in my previous video. We finally got that serviced and fixed up. We're going to show you a before and after on that one. So, coming on the bench today, that's going to be leaving us, we have another Accutron 218, an Omega Seamaster. Couple vintage Russian watches, some eco drives that gave some trouble. We're going to go over those. A Mido, and a couple other unique little pieces. So let's get into it. Let's see what we got. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got a good mix on the bench today. It was kind of a weird week. We had a lot of stuff come in at the beginning, and then a lot of really small odd jobs come right in the middle of the week. So some stuff that we could take care of within the day, within an hour, we took care of. And I'm going to showcase you guys some of the stuff that we have here. Some's going to look familiar because it was in last week's video, and some stuff will look new. So, we will start with one of those simple jobs that came in this week, which was this Bulova Accutron. And I have to set the time on this one, but this one came in. It needed a battery and a battery clasp to hold it down. So, it is a 219 caliber. Luckily, we had a spare in stock. So we were able to trade parts and then order those other parts for that other watch we had. So a really nice model. This is super, super clean. Case is in great shape. Signed crown, band. I'm sure the crown is signed as well. But a very clean model for the 219. And it's going to a good friend of mine up north. So nice, easy project. That came in. We finished it the same day. That was one of those nice ones that we get every once in a while. And while we're keeping on with the Accutrons, this was part of a trade deal I did with a good friend of mine. And he sent it to me, said it hums, but it was all disassembled, the hands weren't on there, case was pretty beat up, crystal was shot. So we reassembled it, got it running. It's been keeping time well, and we're going to throw a band on it. And we may keep this one, we may flip it, but nice up-down Accutron 218 model, which was a simple fix. We always love those. So, those are Accutrons this week. And then we have a pair of Russian style watches. This is a really cool one. It's got the little red lollipop seconds hand that got a full service, and that one has been doing well. We just finished that one up recently, and we're going to get on the timographer here and double check that everything is good on it. And the other one, which we just started back up. It should be running here for y'all. See if I can get it focused. There we go. It's a cool kind of diver style Russian watch. It's got the red and black with these little circles. Really cool. I'll try to get you some information on that in the description. I know there's a lot of people who collect these Russian style watches. And I think that this one is probably pretty desirable to somebody out there. So, really unique little features, and pretty easy service on those. They're simple manual winds. They usually do pretty well. Alright, and then our eco drives. We've got 4 eco drives that came in. And these ones were all not working. They all needed batteries. This one needed an extra gasket put in. But they seem to do well. I need to set these because I have not set them. And that is an interesting task in itself on these watches. So that will be one thing we do before we send these home, is get them all set and tested. But they are running, and that was the big goal. So the owner couldn't get them open, so he couldn't do the batteries himself. So we had to pull out the big case back opener and get into it. And then we have one of the nicer out of the 4, which is the Blue Angels model. Very popular. Same thing, just needed a battery. That one got up and running. We do have a 4th one. It's not shown here. Needed a battery, but it also needed a chronograph pusher. So we contacted Citizen, and they actually said that we got the last pusher for that specific watch that they had in stock. And since it's discontinued, that's the last one they'll ever sell, at least out of the United States that I know of. So sorry to somebody out there looking for it. Looks like we got the last one. Alright, let's get this in focus here. We got this little chronograph. This one, we had worked on this one, and the seconds hand had fallen off. And it's a cheaper Chinese move-it chronograph, so we took it back, we tightened down that seconds hand, and it's seems to be working fine now. It's not falling off. We're going to run it through its paces pretty good. But unique looking. Unfortunately, the movement it's just one of those cheap Chinese movements. But nonetheless, it's working, and I like the way it looks on that band too. The way they dress that up. So unique nonetheless. Alright, this one probably looks familiar to you guys. This Invicta Star Wars. This one came in late last week, and I was pretty anxious to get on this one and try it, so we opened it up. It's just a simple Chinese movement on the inside, very much like Seiko style. It runs really well. It was covered in oil, unfortunately. The hairspring was completely bent out of place, so clearly somebody had been in there trying to make repairs or make adjustments and gotten a little too ahead of themselves. So we fixed that, got it running, and we're pretty pleased. The numbers were pretty strong on it, all things said and done. But yeah, you can kind of see that balance wheel turning in there and that second hand twin. So good deal on there. Alright, and lastly, the big monster. The Omega Seamaster. It's a 1970 Seamaster. It's got a 10-12 caliber, the dreaded 10-12 caliber that so many people talk about. Typically we avoid doing the 10-12 calibers just because of how, I don't want to say difficult they are, but they're complicated. They almost always need parts. Those parts are very expensive, and it can just make your service long and tedious. This case is also very unique and difficult. This actually pushes out into one complete set, and then you have to take the movement out the crystal, and there's a whole bunch of gaskets. So this all comes apart, not in a traditional way. So a unique watch. The dial has patinaed into kind of a wood-looking design there, which I really like. And knock on wood, this was a simple service. Everything went well. There was no bumps. Everything really came together nicely. No parts were needed, except for the crystal. We'll show you guys a before clip of what this watch looked like, so you can see kind of what went into it. But it wasn't running. The stem and crown weren't completely together there. Needed the crystal. The crystal before was just completely mauled up. Gasket on the inside had completely dissolved and made its way inside, so we did have to clean that all up. But all in all, it turned out pretty well, and we're very happy with it. So a good strong week. We hit our quota. We got everything we wanted to get done. There was some makeup work that we've done as well. Some things that we're waiting on parts people are waiting for. That is, we already shipped that out. Some stuff you may have already seen. And, oh, lastly, I almost forgot one. This little Mido, excuse me. This one was troublesome. It's what you consider a Frankenstein hack job done on the inside. Screws were broken off inside. Screws were missing. The sub-seconds hand that was on there was incorrect. And somebody had tried to open up the post, and it was frayed like this almost. And that was catching on the dial, causing all kinds of issues. So this was a difficult project. It's running now. You know, I told the client this is one of those watches where I can get it running, but keep an eye on it. It's been through a lot. There are no parts available anywhere that I could find for this caliber. I called 6 of my part suppliers, checked all the typical source places, and nobody had anything. So really, really tough. It's one of those watches you're nervous with working on. But it is running. It's keeping time. The numbers are pretty strong, so we're happy with it. But it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, someone got into it before and made a bit of a mess. And you can see it's got a nice signed crown too. So this really is a pretty piece. And I hope it works for a long time for them with no issues. So yeah, guys. That's the end of the week. We'll do a little recap. Well, guys, that's the end of the week, and I appreciate you stopping by and taking a look at the watches. Hopefully you got to see a good before and after on a couple pieces, and happy to see a few running like I am. It was a strong week. Like I said, we hit our quota of what we wanted to do this week. We got a ton of makeup work out the door as well earlier this week. We got a couple personal pieces done, which is quite rare, so as busy as it was, it's definitely slowed down a little bit from the previous 2 weeks, and that's because we were traveling. So it was nice to get some catch-up work done and get back to normal. I already know next week is going to be crazy. There's about 12 packages coming to the door between this weekend and early Monday. So we're going to have a stack week, which is great because we'll have some new content, some new watches to show you guys. There's a couple pieces that we're finishing up that we're waiting on parts for. We'll be able to show you guys those. A couple pieces that we've already shown in earlier videos. We're also going to release a video about the Omega Seamaster and the 10-12 caliber, my thoughts on it, a little bit more in depth about the service, and kind of the controversy that goes behind this movement and the struggle that both Watchmakers and Omega deals with on this one. So there's some lore behind it. It's not all sunshine there. So we'll get into that, and if you guys have any ideas about videos, if you guys want to see anything relating watches or repair work, just comment down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.